All right, so the UFC card featuring Song Yadong and Davison Figueirdo just took place in Macau at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. And I'm going to go through every fight that happened on the card, starting with the early prelims, ending off with the main event, giving basically my breakdown of most of the fights. I was able to catch them a little bit later. I wasn't able to see them live, obviously, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. But I was able to watch them on Paramount, and it does seem like there was a bunch of very great fights. There was a bit of controversy, especially with the Sumadarji Alex Perez fight, that turning into a no contest due to a low blow. But other than that, it was a great fight. So we're going to start off with Jacqueline Amorim versus Loma Lookboom. Basically, Loma Lookboom has absolutely no defense on grappling. Jacqueline Amorim was able to bring her up against the cage, up into the clinch, take her down from there, ground and pound. There was a chance for Jacqueline Amorim to get a reverse or inverted heel hook because Loma Lookboom's legs were kind of entangled around Jacqueline Amorim. But after a while, she was able to settle, get into full mount, try to get the armbar. She was able to get the armbar. Uh, Very great showing for Jacqueline Amorim, basically. Next up, Rodrigo Vera versus Jung Kangji. Very great fight, very high paced. Rodrigo Vera getting a couple of boos in the first couple of minutes, bringing it up against the cage after a couple of very good shots by both fighters. Um, was able to land his takedown, but Zhu was able to get straight back up. Um, but during their exchange, Zhu Kangji and Rodrigo Ferrer both went for a classic combo of a straight right hand and then a check hook leading afterwards. The only thing is, Zhu Kangji did not bring up his defense at the time, and Rodrigo was the first to land. So after that, Zhu Kangji was up against the canvas, face down, butt up. Rodrigo landed a couple of other shots, but ref kind of called it from there. Very good, very great to see Rodrigo Vera now 21, 22 and 1, 22 1 and 1 in the bantamweight division. Also coming up to featherweight on a short notice fight, up a weight class. Very great to see. Very weird to see that it was a pick'em fight too, 115, 105, but next up, Zhang Jingyang versus Angela Hill. Once again, this was just a veteran fighter being able to put pressure and a lot of explosive movement, even though at her age, and also being still at straw weight at 115 or 125, sorry. Still able to get it done. Wasn't able to get all of the takedowns. She only got 1 out of 4, but was able to outstrike her throughout the 3 rounds, landing a good flying knee in the first round, landing a good straight in the second round, wobbling Zhang Jinggang. And round 3, just kind of able to coast with a couple of jabs, kind of staying light on the feet, but also moving forward with a bunch of pressure. Up next, we had the Louis Garul versus Ray Tetsura. Tetsuria, very easy fight for Ray Tetsuria. As soon as he was able to get it onto the ground, he was able to outscramble Lewis up to the fence, and then from there take him down once again. All it took was one submission attempt. I forgot what submission it was. If I can just look it up real quick. No, I need Instagram, not this fucking piece. Because I think I had a couple of pictures of it. No, this was the Kaya Sakura fight. That was Jake Matthews. Cody Haddon. Right here. Able to get a real nice figure 4 on the body. Great hand placement. Basically a face crank from the back position. Able to get the tap immediately. Great to see from Ray Tetsuria. Going up a weight class, staying in his natural weight class rather than trying to cut down to 125 is very good to see. And in all honesty, I'd like to see him up against Davis and Figueirdo, the loser of the main event, which we'll get to in a second. Next up, Cody Haddon, RJ Ling. I did not really see this fight, I gotta be honest. It mostly just looks like one-way traffic for most of it. One submission attempt for RJ Ling, but other than that, I think it was just a regional prospect versus a UFC prospect in full time. 6 strikes to 64 in round 1 and 20-6 in round 2. I think Cody Haddon deserves to get somebody in the top 15, maybe even the Marcus McGee win that happens later on this card. Next up, what I think personally should be the fight of the night, Ding Meng versus Jose Souza. This was an incredible fight between a Muay Thai kickboxer in Din Meng and a fluid kickboxer in Jose Souza. Jose Souza standing at 6'3" with an incredible 8-inch reach advantage throughout this fight, was able to put on a jab and stay very light on his feet. The only thing is that Din Meng, using his Muay Thai style, was able to chop down at the legs and basically dismantle him throughout the entirety of the fight. I think he should have won this fight, but people do look more at the head strikes than they do the leg strikes. And I will also say the showmanship that Jose Souza threw at the third round once Din Meng landed a couple of kicks. Jose Souza kind of he kind of faked groaning at it, like grimacing at the pain. And I think that kind of swayed the judges, especially in the third round, because that was 23 head strikes to 7 leg strikes, but those 7 leg strikes were powerful. 42 leg strikes throughout the entirety of the fight. Jose Souza definitely has a couple of welts on his leg. Needs to address the kicking aspect of his game. I think throwing a couple more front kicks and a couple more lead knees like he did in the second round off of his jab would actually be very good for him in the welterweight division, at least up until he gets to the top 7, top 5. Ding Meng, I think he should definitely stay in the UFC. He's a good prospect. He always throws very good fights, although not very high output. He throws a lot of strikes with a lot of intensity, very playful. Brings back like the old one championship Muay Thai style fights with Jonathan Haggerty, Rod Tang, and everything. Very great fight, very great fight. I think it should have gotten fight of the night once again. The headliner of the prelims, Luis Felipe Diaz versus Yisak Lee. Luis Felipe Diaz was basically a middleweight Alex Pereira, standing at 5'10". Had his guard very outside throughout the entirety of the fight. If I could just show it. I mean, I will say he is just a specimen when he throws hooks. Looping all the way out. Throwing heat throughout the entirety of the fight. And I gotta look up. Yisak Lee was just not prepared for it. I think most of his fights, although he has had a lot of the fights, they're mostly off of the regional scene, not off of the UFC or somewhere like Luis Felipe Diaz has fought in beforehand. So very good to see. I think Luis deserves somebody in the top 15 in the middleweight division. Maybe the winner of the Edmund Shabazian Brendan Allen fight, or the loser of that fight. Sorry. And it was a great showing for them. Next up was the Sumadarji Alex Perez fight. This one was wrapped up in a bit of controversy. It was a tit-for-tat fight going in through the first round. Second round, more of the same, but a minute 45 left into the round. Sumadarji throws what seemed to be at first an inside leg kick that turned into a front kick that scraped Alex Perez's cup. And now people are saying that it should have been going to Alex Perez's way because of the 2 fouls. Sumadarji did eye poke him in the first and then did throw the nut shot in the second. Alex Perez did have 5 minutes to recover. The commentary and the ref was saying that he's not throwing up, he's just spitting saliva, which I mean is something where when you get kicked in the nuts and you ain't got something to throw up, it's kind of what you do. But after the 5 minutes, they were able to call it off to a could not continue, basically no contest between the two. it was very lackluster. I feel like it would have been a great fight if it was to continue, but unfortunately, Alex Perez wasn't able to continue after 5 minutes. Sumadarji is going to probably have to go up against somebody else in the top 20 in order to break into the top 15. But to be fair, after this, he's probably going to be shooting up. Probably from what was he? I think he was 22nd to maybe 17 right now. Getting somebody in the top 15 that's actually ranked, I think would be great for him. It's a great prospect coming out of China, and we need him in the UFC. Carlston Harris, Jake Matthews, didn't really watch this fight very much. Just a bunch of lay and pray uh, wrestling from Jake Matthews. A lot of submission attempts, although it doesn't show it on here. There was a reversal every once in a while, but I don't know, just not a very great showing. Not a very great fight. Next up, Kai Asakura, Cameron Smotherland. Very quick fight. Didn't need much to happen. If I can pull up the highlight real quick. Boom. Staying very low in his stance, both on the same angle. But he threw a mean combo. Stumbled Cameron Smotherland from there. Was able to finish him off with another check hook. A good thing that all of these Asian prospect fighters have is a very good boxing technique when it comes to throwing the straight right and then a check hook. Now, to be fair, earlier in this card, that didn't really work out the right way. But up against, Kai Asakura and Cameron Smotherland, turned out to work out just well. Get at Kai Asakura, maybe somebody in the top 10, top 5. I'm thinking, honestly, if Marab loses one more and Kai Asakura wins one more, maybe get them together. Maybe get him and Umar. Get him somebody good, you know what I mean? Up next, Talashin Teixeira, Sergey Pavlovich. Sergey is back. All it took was 10 strikes, and Talashin Teixeira was out up against the fence. Although I do feel as though it was a short stoppage, it was something where Talashin Teixeira was not showing any signs of defense. Sergey Pavlovich has astounding power at the heavyweight division, which is really saying something. And he was throwing a barrage of punches. They called it off right then and there. I do agree with calling it off. I do think it was a bit early, but I do agree on calling it off in general. It was one-way traffic. Another thing that this does make me very concerned is the fact that Alex Pereira has been sparring with Talashin Teixeira. And Talashin Teixeira, although not a very fast heavyweight, has been tagging him. Now, it isn't sparring, so it's probably, they're going 50, 75%. But if somebody like Sergey Pavlovich is coming straight at Alex Pereira, I don't think Alex Pereira is going to have the time to be able to adjust to get into the fight. And I'd say the same thing with Tom Aspinall. It makes me worried for this Surreal Gone fight. But Taoshin Teixeira, get him, Junior Tafa or whoever's fighting on the next card in heavyweight division. Give him the winner. And then Sergey Pavlovich, I think he should get the loser of Surreal Gone and Alex Pereira coming up this week. Or coming up in the next couple of weeks. Next up, fight of the night, Alonzo Menefield, Zhang Minyang. Let me see if I can pull up that fight real quick. Oh, this is the Sergey Pavlovich one. Yeah, you could see just connecting on punches after punches. And it makes me worried for when Alex Pereira goes up. And then with this one was just a slobber knock'em. At first, it was a bit of a chess match in between Zhang Minyang and Alonzo Menefield, but after a couple of minutes, it just started getting into like a barn burner of a fight. They were throwing hooks, ducking underneath them, going up against the cage. Alonzo Menefield able to find a really good rear uppercut, and then from there, kind of just finishing Zhang Minyang. So, do I feel like Zhang Minyang is still a great prospect? Yes. Do I think he's going to be able to be champion in light heavyweight division? No. I think he is going to be basically another Anthony Smith, where he's going to go into the top 3, maybe go into a title contention fight, lose it, and then fall from grace. And this is kind of what we've seen with Alonzo Menifield. I think Alonzo Menifield should face Khalil Roundtree next. I think that would be a great fight in between two very powerful boxers. One a Muay Thai fighter, another one basically a boxer. And then next up, the main event of the night with the performance of the night going towards Song Yadong. What else were we expecting? Let's be honest here. What else were we expecting? Davison Figueiredo is 38, 39 years old at the bantamweight division, and Song Yadong is a cool, easy 27, 28. I think he might even be 25. Like, it was just one-way traffic. Davison Figueiredo was very slow, was not very reactive to Song Yadong's body jabs, which left his hands open, which left his head open, which left the legs open. And in the first round, it was a bit of one-way traffic because you could, or well, actually, it was more of a tit for tat. It was getting into a really good fight, but then after a while, Davison Figueiredo decided, after getting beaten down a little bit, getting a little pot shotted with the jabs and the straights, decided to try to take it to the ground, and then that's when Song Yadong adjusted his grip, went underneath the chin, and got a guillotine. Do I feel like Song Yadong should get somebody in the top 5? No, because it's Davison Figueiredo. It's not beating Sean O'Malley. It's not beating Merab Davishvili. It's not beating Umar Nurmagomedov. Like, that's not beating a win of that caliber. Even though I do wonder, what ranking was he? He was probably like top 5. Like, I would want to see Song Yadong up against Corey Sandhagen, I believe, again. Or get him another up-and-comer. But all in all, I would say this fight card is about an 8 out of 10. Delivered on very good fights, had a bit of controversy. But other than that, the only takeaway that I had was I hate the 3 o'clock in the morning. This is the one thing that I do hate about the new pay-per-view model, is the fact of now that they don't do pay-per-views, they don't have to go by U.S. timestamps. So they'll have 3 o'clock here. Next week, I think they have 4 o'clock on Saturday. And then for some reason, they have the Freedom 250 card on a Sunday. On a Sunday at 4, which I'm not too excited for. But yeah, all in all, great fight. I guess I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.